Alright, we're back in the middle of the fray. About to play a little Dragon Quest. Welcome back to the playthrough. We're still in panic because you're taking away our sacrifices. I mean friends. Uh, yeah, the mind control is working very well. Very well. As you can see, we are still in version 3, Storm Realm shenanigans and all that good stuff. Today we're going to be talking about masculinity once again. Here we go. But there's a little bit of a debate because people really don't realize what this shit is. That's why there's a whole like toxic thing around it, and not really that stigma with femininity as well. But we'll get into that. Just talk about the natural wars of sexes, and a little bit here, a little bit there, and we're gonna finish up this quest here. Gonna start on our way toward the Tower Storm, and hopefully stop this guy from, you know, connecting all the realms and doing all that horrible stuff. We definitely don't want that. We definitely don't want that. But nevertheless, I hope you are all having a good whatever day you upload this on. Looks like we're TV or something. No, I feel like in a certain way you are collaborating with your audience here on YouTube. But that's beside the point. I'm getting a little off base. It's the Koopa. Hope you love the tangents, the rangents, and I truly hope you love the Dragon Quest. This is a valued channel where we celebrate music, art creation, and generally just trying to grow. I like growth, and I like thinking. Who else likes to think? Let's think on why the evil ill exist. You know, like what is the need for that? What is the need for such a power to over encompass? What is this, like the realm world, the Dragon Quest world? This really isn't a Stoltia. This is like another sort of part of it. In my analogy, I'm saying that it's more of like the internet, like the online realms, because it's like a realm within realm kind of thing. Which makes sense to me, but interpret it how you want to interpret it. I think the evil will needs to be here. To basically cause balance and intriquity to the world, you know what I'm saying? And so all masculinity is just an enforcing, an exertion of that evil will to the opposite direction, of course. And it could be something that is surged from truth, from a long line of life experiences, you know, because it's like that one guy with the crazy hair, you know what I'm saying? Every force has an equal opposite reaction, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people think they can just do vitriol, get over, you know what I'm saying? Take a little shortcut and not really care about other people's feelings, because in the end they really don't matter, you know? Like I said, it's just gonna be you. But that pain always transfers. So in a lump sum kind of way, you have a bunch of people sort of trying to contribute to, you know, our global bank fund in the positives, and then you have some people who have maybe given up hope and are just kind of rolling their wheels. And maybe even a few, maybe a few of the vocal majority who are always in the five realms. That seem to just contribute to that debt, and at the same time, you know, use their quote-unquote toxic masculinity to elevate those who will, you know, bow to them, do the same as them, walk in their footsteps as such, you know? But I say that the masculinity in itself is not really toxic. It's just a force working in your opposition, you know? In general, God, life source, whatever, they gave us the free will to do this horrible shit because, you know, they wanted us to go out and fight and protect what we value. And life is much more interesting that way. I do agree. I would agree. I would concur. And you really don't want a situation where you're just kind of apathetic and you've won everything and nobody really challenges you, because that is also a form of self-deletion, self-suicide, you know, just plateauing, and you know, where do you go from there? You fall. So in general, we need these challenges, but how we're raised is to sort of just like neglect that internal instinct, especially over here if you want to be on a left facing front, but really even over on the right-leaning side, if you know, there's a lot of like, big, a sort of compassionate teddy bears, if you will. Nobody really will strictly and enforcingly stand for something and then just be willing to absolutely annihilate someone else, because there's a lot more. Um, feels like there's a lot more backup nowadays. Like you can tap on a phone and endless motherfuckers can fight you, and it feels the same way with dating and everything, right? But then conversely, this is where the debate gets interesting. And I hope you guys enjoy this little traveling here we're doing. We're going to the Storm Tower, and then I think we have to do a quest there as well. Um, so yeah, we'll have a good time with that. The thing about that is we're just kind of raised to be generally agreeable, to work as a team. And I'm not saying, it's not masculine to work as a team, but um, the thing about teams and teamwork is you need a lot of humility and compassion and for the others. So, the things in class where they just like pair you up with random people, or they worse, they even like let you choose who to pair up with. There becomes an issue of lack of sort of like proficiency equality. And nobody wants to admit that, hey man, I just kind of suck at this. Could you help me with this part or whatever? Nobody wants to do that because um not only does it make you feel weak, but in today's society, one of the most coveted things that you can't even really feel or touch, get a little ooh is yeah, it's intelligence. Intelligence and let's say values, strength of character, and that's naturally going to give you the confidence that everybody, quote unquote, wants. They don't really want confidence; they just want somebody smooth, who, you know, moves forward through his words, takes his actions seriously. Just somebody who doesn't like rush through things that they know that they can't move that fast into yet. Somebody just methodically moves through life. It's not really confidence. It's just doing a lot of the same things you know how to do, the same way you know how to do it. It's a lot of listening to yourself and God. People don't really trust themselves. You gotta realize that all these thoughts you have are not you. It's sort of like the you experiencing the thoughts. You realize you can think something completely different from what you're actually doing. You can do something completely different from what you think. So these are completely different things in reality. You can either kind of crash out over that and say nothing matters and my brain doesn't work, or you can sort of utilize it to your advantage and grab that masculinity, that horrible force that everybody says, and use your way of life to integrate it into you. Build that confidence and literally just reach into the matrix and grab what you want. Of course it takes a plan, but honestly guys, the mulling over like what to do is kind of annoying nowadays. Like just do the thing, especially if it's like a YouTube or a posting or a recording or anything creative. Just do the thing. You're gonna make a lot of shit. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. You're gonna meet a lot of people who don't really like your stuff. All your friends are probably gonna, borderline be annoyed with your ass. It's okay. It's okay, just do the thing, man. Like, if you really want to do it, and none of that is really gonna matter. And I've noticed that. Like, all of these roadblocks have definitely came, and it stopped me before, but I always come back. It's my nature. Ever since I learned how to open up a DAW and do weird things to songs, I just keep opening up DAWs and doing weird things to songs. Ever since I learned how to dance and move my body, I just keep waking up and putting on a song and just, slapping my legs on the floor. I don't know what you want to call it. Waving my arms all around. It feels good to me. And if you really want to stay youthful, if you really want to stay in your nature, in your mind, you just have to lean into what you're doing now. Usually if you had a fruitful and enlightening childhood, it'd probably be some of the same stuff you did there in maybe a different, more complex way. But hold on to yourself, you know? And I'm not talking about the self that you think is the self. I'm talking about the self observing that. Hold on to that. Because that's where your masculinity is gonna come out. You know, that's what the self is gonna like force you to do random weird shit that may look really weird to other people, you know? And I say I really respect those who just go into that instead of denying it all their lives like I did and being like, no, I have to do all these things that everybody else wants me to do. Go to parties and get this job. Go over to this thing. I can't be a lame gaming YouTuber. What the fuck? You can't do that. But whatever it is, it's masculine if, you know, you have to force sort of the world, you have to bend it to your knit. And a lot of guys have to do that. A lot of guys have to do that to actualize who they are. They just haven't had that like coming to age ceremony where they realize, oh shit, here we go. I gotta lock in. They haven't had that moment. You know, that going to Johnson. Let me charge my damn laptop here. Yeah. Because it is scary. It is scary to get kicked from the nest and, you know, you don't know what the fuck is going on and you kind of just gotta make some shit happen. It's scary, but I feel like a lot of us, we had a choice to do that. It may have went well, it may have went bad, but like a lot of things, if you are someone who loves to learn, you probably just love doing new things because you realize that even if it's a mistake, even if it's a potential failure, a potential something that's gonna, you know, give you setbacks in the future, you know what you did do? You did learn. Hopefully. You did understand not what to do next time. So I always value that, and I always value new experiences, but I'm noticing like a lot of times I'm going into old experiences, dressed as new experiences, you know, sort of gaslighting myself, like, oh yeah, this is totally gonna, you know, it's gonna be, you know, and I'm in reality, I just have to lock into what, you know, I actually want to do, no matter if it's old, new, you know, mid-range, 2020 garbage, I don't know, no matter what age, no matter how corny, no matter how cringy, if you want to do it, if you picture yourself doing it, you know, money in, money out, soul in, soul out, no legs, yes legs, I have no mouth and I must scream. If you picture yourself doing it no matter what, and you're having fun now, I don't see why you would, you know, need the field. Yeah, that's a word. That's an arrangement. I don't see why you would feel the need to sort of go outside of your own realm of self-expression. To figure out other people, what things are doing, and I understand like community is how we evolve generally, you know, in today's age and how we make it through. But I'm gonna be real, guys. The national deficit is crazy right now. You're probably in debt. I'm probably in debt. Let's just be real. We're not making it out of this grind, you know, just making a lot of money, right? That's not like that. Don't be stupid, man. You know, like the super boss has this much health and you're just gonna regular attack it the whole time. No, we have to think bigger. So I understand the grind. I understand, you know, having enough to eat tomorrow. Of course, work your job. Don't quit your job. I'm not quitting my job. But yeah, just do something that's gonna outlive you. And I don't want to be like that whole like digital age data guy. Like do something, post it online. But I'm like, write some copy, record some footage. Jump on YouTube because AI is going to get crazy. AI is going to get really, really crazy, and soon we're going to value this human content a lot, you know? Whether it's me 5 years in the future monetizing all of this human content and you know, snapping my fingers and making 5 videos a day, and then one real video, you got to, you know, sift through the pack. I'll probably just have a bunch of different AI channels and just keep this one. I don't know what I'll do. But, you know, AI could get crazy like that. And there's a lot of merit to just putting data sets out there. You know, if you're a creative type of person, I feel like if you're any kind of person who uses their brain to have an inner dialogue, it'd probably be very, very useful to have a creative outlet. Because I know me, with my inner dialogue, there was a point in my life where I didn't really have a creative outlet. And it led me to just sort of activate my neurosis and resent over things I really didn't need to. and keep going back over and retracing steps and places that I just didn't need to in my mind, like thinking I could, Doctor Strange a different scenario or something. When in reality, if I just like wrote it out, if I just, did some art or whatever, but it's always hindsight. I'd say as long as you're filling up your day as a highly, I guess, brain activity individual. I don't know what the brain activity term would be. I actually have no idea. Cranium energy. Yeah. But in general, you just gotta remember, life doesn't happen to us. We happen to life. That's the masculine thing. And then, so, femininity is more helping and supporting and providing a environment to cultivate that. So when they say, masculinity can be toxic, they mean it can be directed towards something that you just can't heal with femininity, and that's been a tale as old as time, when a woman is just kind of caught in an evil man's grasp and she's like, all I can do is heal, man, like I'm just whamming. I feel like nowadays that's not really generally the case. They're using a lot of masculinity. Like I said, we are about to get a new class in this game, actually, so I can draw this parallel. It's going to be a healer. It's going to be the Hermit class. It's going to be a healer, right? I have an express, theory, a hypothesis that I will test. Don't worry. That this probably will be the strongest healer in the game. Most likely, damage-wise. It probably won't have good heals, which is going to be really hilarious if I'm right about this. But if it also has good heals, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is going to be the Hollywood woman. But that's generally what's happening with the world now. And of course, Dragon Quest is responding. I feel like they're just telling the tale of the West in Dragon Quest form in this, and I'll get into that a little bit more version 4, but it's pretty funny how a lot of things line up when you sort of hindsight them. At least in my eyes. And I'm a really big fan of analogy, so having fun going through this a second and third time to sort of get the full scope of what they were really trying to do here. The translation is very good. We love the Clarity team. They've been working through quite many problems, but they're still holding on strong. There's a few left to hold us together here. Last couple of 7 versions. I think there is going to be an 8 now. I think they announced that, which is pretty amazing as well. Dragon Quest is still good and alive, and I wasn't worried about that. If anything, I'm just kind of hopeful that Dragon Quest 12 will be something similar to the combat in this, because I really hoped that 11 would have combat like this, and you can walk around in the combat in 11, but it does literally nothing. So they might do it if they want to make it multiplayer, but I don't know. I really don't know. We'll see, Square. I support you now. We'll see if I support you later. Well, alright guys, we're going to the Storm Tower next time. I hope you like this little chat. I like to ramble, I like to tangent. We did the quest with these little doggy dogs. And next time we'll Storm Tower it. So appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you later.